And we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game, joined along by General Manager Mark Carvella as we start Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Newton Rebels and the Rose Hill Sluggers. Mark, it's a hot one out here tonight.
Oh, my gosh, yes. It's a beautiful day, but just a little hot, especially when you're in direct sun. We're hoping the shade, we're going to get some shade here with that sun going down probably in a few minutes here, Frank, and I think you and I will feel better.
Yeah, we got fans starting to show up here. We're playing at Westside Athletic Field in Wichita. So, once again, this is Game 2 of a 4-game series. Last night, the Newton Rebels lost 9-6 against Rose Hill.
Yeah, and it was a game where they, the Rebels fell behind early in the game with that 4-run inning in the second by the Sluggers, and they were playing catch-up, and that's something they've been doing a lot of, and hopefully they could turn that around and maybe get a lead and hold on. They got a good pitcher on the mound today.
Yeah, definitely do. Before we get started with the starting lineups, we're going to give you the rundown on the standings so far. Cheney is 16-0. Hutchison 13-4, tied with Rose Hill Sluggers at 13-4. Great Bend Batcats are coming in with 11-10. Mulvane Patriots are 9-11, followed by the Derby Twins, who are 8-12. Then the Newton Rebels 6-11. That's in conference play. And then the Hayesville Aviators at 4-11, followed by the Sunflower Seeds at 2-19. Once again, the Newton Rebels are 6-11, but they are 9-11 overall. So they got a couple games before they get back up to 500, and hopefully they can finish up the series here and get the next 3, and they will be above 500. So.
Well, and that's the thing. We talked as a team yesterday after our game, and we figured 17 games left. How are we going to finish? And it's very important. We've got to really turn it around and play our best ball. And I would say yesterday was not our best ball. So the guys have to come ready to play, and they know that, and they've made a commitment. So we'll see what happens, one at a time, though.
Well, we gave them 4 runs in the second inning. I think we had 4 errors that inning. Then they scored 3 runs in the ninth inning, but 2 of them were home runs, right. So they earned those. But the 4 that we gave them, you just can't do that. The score ends up 9-6. You take away those 4 runs, and we win 6-5.
Well, and there were 4 errors in that inning too. So
right.
That's you can't. And it's. It was a combination. It was just like the guys weren't focused. They weren't ready to play. But they know what's in store. Coach Clark's, I heard him talking to the team saying, you guys have to be prepared, come ready to play. And to be honest, that's on them. They've got to come ready to go. And it's a tough league. Just like you're saying, Cheney, they've pretty much, they're in. They're going to be in the World Series. So everybody's battling for that other spot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before we get started here, we're going to go ahead and go through the starting lineups. Once again, the Newton Rebels will be the visiting team here today. Leading off for the Newton Rebels will be and playing second base will be number 3, Lachlan Ross. Batting second will be the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. Batting third and DHing will be number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Batting fourth and playing first base will be number 10, Carl Corper. Batting fifth and playing right field will be number 23, Joey Martinez. Batting sixth and playing shortstop will be number 1, Andrew Brutman. Batting seventh and playing left field will be number 14, Sam Cassane. Batting eighth and playing center field will be number 16, Andrew Patton. Batting ninth and catching will be number 15, Hibiki Uchi. And pitching for the Newton Rebels will be number 28, Zach Bravo. Of course, the head coach for the Rebels is Brett Clark. And it seems like every time Zach Bravo pitches, Uchi catches.
Right, yeah. I think he likes them, and they work well together. Remember, we were talking about how they work outside in, and they're on the same page.
Yeah, last time Bravo pitched, I think he had 14 strikeouts. So we're looking hopefully for something like that tonight also. Well, for the Newton Rebels, Bravo, we're talking about he has pitched in 6 games. Started 5 games, has gone 22 2/3 innings, has given up 14 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned runs, 12 base on balls, and he's recorded 39 strikeouts, and he is 1-0 here for the season as he comes in with a 3.17 ERA. Now here's the starting lineup for the Rose Hill Sluggers. Leading off and playing left field will be number 3, Mason Hartman. Batting second, the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. Batting third and playing right field will be number 42, Hunter Gibson. Batting fourth and DHing will be number 33, Garrett Kosis. Batting fifth and playing shortstop will be number 5, Adam Tice. Batting sixth and playing first base will be number 17, Jackson Dito. Batting seventh and catching will be number 8, Ross Cadena. And batting eighth and playing second base, number 21, Easton James. Batting ninth and playing center field will be number 31, Will Reitz. And pitching for the Sluggers will be number 16, Derek Watts. And let's take a look at see what Watts has done so far here this season. Watts so far has played in 2 games, started 2 games, has gone 7 innings, given up 11 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, has struck out 8, and he is 2-0 for the season as he comes in with a 2.57 ERA. You want to give me a little bit some stats on him as far as his height and weight?
Okay, well, let's see, Watts. I mean, right now all I have, the information that I have right here with Watts, he's from Tabor.
Okay.
He went to Tabor. He's a senior, so he definitely has some experience, especially being a guy that's going to be a senior next year. Like I said, we don't know his height and weight, but he looks like a good size frame right there, and he looks like he uses an assortment of pitches. Just looking at him, he has a good fastball, and he had some good breaking stuff there in the warm-ups.
So we welcome once again, if you're just now joining us, to Newton Rebels Baseball as we're ready to get underway. Leading off for the Newton Rebels will be the second baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. And here's the first pitch by Watts. That one in there for strike 1. 1-0 now. No balls and 1 strike now to Ross as we're just underway. Well, once again, we hope you enjoy the telecast here today. I'd like to thank all our sponsors. Dr. Brett Rolfs is our main sponsor here today, Carv.
Yeah, no, he's been with us for years, been with the Newton Rebels, and hope he's doing well.
Count goes to 1-1. That one missing low for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Lachlan Ross as we're just underway here in the top half of the first inning. And your Newton Rebels are looking to turn this around. There's a hard hit ball to the third baseman, Baxley. Baxley goes over to first to Dito for out number 1. So a 5-3 put out for the first out, and it'll bring up the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley.
And you got to realize Baxley's basically a catcher, and he does pitch a little, but he's in college. He's been a catcher, and I'm sure he's a good enough athlete. He could play third base, first base, and today he's playing third.
So coming up is Nolan Riley.
And Nolan's still getting his feet wet here. I mean, he just started, over a week ago, Frank?
Yeah, about a week ago. That's why I'm trying to find his stats here. That hit hard to the to the third right fielder. Right fielder comes in, makes the catch for out number 2. That one hit to Hunter Gibson. And that will bring up the designated hitter, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. Andrews comes in batting .314 as he's appeared in 17 ball games. Swing and a miss there by Andrews.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't exactly ready or was guessing right there, but that was a pitch that I bet he'd like to have again.
He's been up to bat 70 times, has 22 hits, has scored 13 runs, and has a total of 19 RBIs.
Andrews, 6'4", 215, lefty hitter. Southeast Missouri State.
So here's the pitch by Watts. That one missing inside. Count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike now to Lincoln Andrews. Third batter here in the top half of the first inning as we're just underway. That one missing low. 3-1 now the count to Andrews. Ross started off with a hard hit ball to the third baseman as Baxley was able to make the play, and then a fly out to right field. There's a ball lifted into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit as is down the line. So Lincoln Andrews records his first hit of the ball game.
And I was going to say right there, with the 3-1 count, he's looking for that good pitch, and he did get it. And what he's been doing the last couple of weeks has been amazing. I don't know what his average is in that 2 weeks, but I know he's brought his average up quite a bit, and he's been our RBI guy also.
It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 10, Carl Corper, and that's hit right down the line, and that's just foul. Corper played for his first time yesterday. He was 1 for 4, so right. He's batting .250.
Yeah, he's a big man too. I went and talked to him, introduced myself and everything, and
I think it's 6'4", 230 or something like that.
I don't know, Frank. He might be a little taller. I don't know that, but he was either that or I'm shrinking. I don't know, but he definitely is a tall man.
Swing and a miss there by Corper.
That's a good cut. Just stepped out a little.
I believe the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes now. As there is a runner on at first base, as Andrews line one into right field to get the first hit of the ball game. And here's Watt's pitch. That one just missing outside.
Yeah, that was easy. You see Watts just kind of walking off. He thought it was there, and it was pretty close, but it didn't get called.
We got a little wind picking up, which may not be good for the microphones, but it is good for us. But there's a hard hit ball into right center field. That's going to be in for extra bases. Andrews going to third now, and Corper heading to second base, and Andrews will be held up at third base. So Carl Corper will be standing now at second base with a double.
Yeah, I mean, he's a strong young man, and when he got a hold of that, he definitely got some solid contact in that, Frank. That just took off.
A good hit there by Corper. So he receives his second hit as a Rebel. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 23, Joey Martinez, as he had 1 hit yesterday and now starting off the ball game with 1 hit here today. So runners on at second and third with 2 down. That ball in there for call strike 1.
Yeah, Martinez was 2 for 4 yesterday. Like I said, he's been pretty consistent. He had a little, where he had a little, maybe a drought for him. But this is what the Rebels need to work on, especially 2-out hitting.
That one high and inside for ball 1. That will take the count now to 1 ball, 1 strike, as we have 2 down here in the top half of the first inning, and no score yet so far. Not sure we're going to have point streak on tonight. Doesn't look like they have it going. That one missing, or hitting the outside corner, I should say. So the count will now go to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So we talk about, baseball, 2-out hitting, 2-strike hitting.
So we have 2 down here. Top half the first inning. There is ducks on the pond. That one hits low and gets away from the catcher, but doesn't go very far. Just stays inside that circle area. This is artificial turf here at Westside Athletic Field. It's the home of the Friends Falcons.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's great. I know Coach Nicey has been working on it for the last couple of years. I just told him that the only thing we need to get is that press box. Right.
Yeah. Coach Nicey was one of our guests a couple games ago. Swing and a miss there by Martinez. He goes down swinging for the 3rd out. So at the top half of the first inning for the Newton Rebels, they score no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. Our paper goes flying.
That shows you the win.
So at the top half of the first inning for the Newton Rebels, they scored no runs and 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. There's no runs. So there's Rebels 0 and the Rose Hill Sluggers coming to bat. My bad there. All right, we're going to be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Rebels scored no runs in the top half of the first. So now it is Rose Hill Sluggers' turn. Defensively for the Newton Rebels at first base, we'll have number 10, Corper. Second baseman, number 3, Ross. At shortstop will be number 1, Brotman. Third baseman, number 55, Riley. Left fielder, number 14, Kassane. Center fielder, number 16, Patton. Right fielder will be number 23, Martinez. Catching, number 15, Uchi. And pitching tonight will be number 28, Zach Bravo. And like I said, Mark, before, the last time at that he was out, he had a total of 14 strikeouts and now has a total of 39 strikeouts here in the league.
No, he's got some stuff. But the thing is, what he did in that game, remember he had the tough outing, had the tough first inning with the home run. And they had 3 runs, had a 3-0 lead, and then Bravo fought back, and he figured out. He started getting control of all his main 3 pitches, and he was just dominant.
So leading off for the Rose Hill Sluggers will be the left fielder, number 3, Mason Hartman.
Find a little about Hartman. From Pittsburgh State, a junior from Pittsburgh State.
That one calls strike 1, so the count will go now to 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Hartman led off yesterday, Frank. He was 0 for 4, but, I mean, he did walk and scored a run.
Ball hit to the second baseman. Goes over to first for out number 1. That's Lachlan Ross. Over to Corper for the putout. So a 4-3 putout for the first out here in the bottom half of the first inning. That will bring up the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley.
It's good to probably see, Lincoln Andrews taking a break. He's DHing today, and now that means the Enzo is not in there, the boom, but he'll be ready maybe to come in later in the game.
Baxley comes in batting .492 as he's appeared in 13 ball games, has been up to bat 59 times, has 29 hits, and has scored 15 runs. He also has a total of 25 RBIs. That one in there for call strike. Do you know what the count is? I think it's 1-1.
We do not have a scoreboard right now.
No, they don't have a scoreboard, so you're going to have to keep track of the balls and strikes, okay? That's your job today.
Okay.
That one missing inside, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
There you go.
They don't have a scoreboard, and the point streak is not running right now. That hit to the shortstop. Shortstop moves to his left nice. Brotman. Nice job there by Corper to scoop that up. So that's Brotman to Corper for the second out. So a 6-3 putout. And nice now there's play. 2 down here in the bottom half of the second, first.
It's to utilize the turf right here. This is an infield turf. And, nice artificial turf right there. And he took the nice bounce, and he did a great job picking that up.
That's going to bring up the right fielder, number 42, Hunter Gibson. Gibson comes in batting .423. First pitch is ball 1 as it misses high and outside.
Yeah, Gibson's another big guy, Wichita State junior.
That one hitting the outside corner, so the count will even up now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Gibson has appeared in 15 ball games, has been up to bat 52 times, has 22 hits, and has scored 14 runs. There's a check swing, but it's in there for a strike. So the count will now go to 1 ball, 2 strikes now to right fielder number 42, Hunter Gibson, as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the first. No score.
What's neat to see is 2 Division I players going against each other right here, too. You know, that's the thing, the influx. I mean, we have a lot of Division I players in the league this year, probably the most ever, I would say. And right now it's kind of neat to see because Bravo's at Lamar University, Division I, and then, of course, you have Gibson at Wichita State.
So the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Hunter Gibson. And here's Zach Bravo. That ball hit hard to first base. First baseman Corper dove to his right to try to get that, but it was not able to get to it. So Gibson records his first hit of the ball game and the first hit for the Rose Hill Sluggers. So he'll be standing on at first base, and that will bring up the designated hitter, number 33, Garrett Koses.
I was just looking at Corber and Gibson over there. Look at two big guys. Look at them. They look like two big football players almost over there.
Koses comes in batting .370. And there's Bravo's pitch. That first one missing low and inside for ball one. 1-0 now the count to Garrett Koses.
Another Wichita State first baseman there. And he's a junior.
That one just missing the knees, so the count goes 2-0 now to Koses.
So well, I was going to say Coach Wedge with Wichita State, what he did, he there's 3 or 4 players on each team, and you can see that they have their share. We have our share, obviously. So it's pretty interesting to see these guys battling against each other, too.
That ball hit to the first baseman. Corper moves to his right and gets it, touches the bag for out number 3 unassisted. So the bottom half of the first inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers, they scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 1 inning of play, we have no score, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the top half of the second inning. If you're just now joining us, we have no score so far. Newton Rebels leading off for them will be the shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. He'll be followed by Cassane, and then in the hole will be Patton.
Well, Frank, I'll tell you, it's a lot cooler now just being in the shade, and that wind kind of came up there. So, man, before, we were kind of perspiring. It was hot and humid.
First pitch to Brotman is high and outside for ball 1. Brotman comes in batting .284. He's appeared in 20 ball games, has been up the bat 81 times, has 23 hits, and has scored 15 runs. That one missing for ball 2 as that was inside. We'd like to say hi to Brotman's parents, Bob and, my page turned here. Sorry about that. Bob and Christy Brotman. Ball hit hard into left field. The left fielder will get under it. That's Hartman making the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up the left fielder number 14, Sam Cassane.
Yeah, Cassane from Wichita. He plays at Lindenwood University, which is outside there and right there in St. Louis area.
Cassane, the left-handed batter, comes in batting .229. So he's appeared in 10 ball games. That one missing high for ball 1 by Watts. He's been up to bat 35 times, has 8 hits, and has scored 5 runs. I believe he has 4 RBIs. Yep, 4 RBIs. That one popped up into the infield. The shortstop, Tice, gets under it. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, he's been struggling. I mean, I know he did against Mulvane a little that, and I think, look, from the coach standpoint, he's got to watch that he doesn't step out too much, step towards first base and swing, being a lefty, which drops his bat and he gets under the ball. So hopefully he'll adjust on that.
That will bring up the center fielder, number 16, Andrew Patton. Again, Patton, second ball game.
Yeah, and Patton yesterday, I mean, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks, and he scored every time he walked, he scored. So he had 2 runs scored.
That one hit right back to the pitcher. Watts picks it up, goes to first for out number 3. So a 1-3 put out for the third out. And the top half of the second inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 1.5 innings of play, we have no score, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. We have no score. We'd like to welcome you to the telecast. We hope you enjoy it. We finally got some shade, Carv.
Definitely a complete difference than when we started the game, folks. It's nice. It's nice now. I mean, it's not.
The wind's still blowing, but it feels awful good. And like I say, we're now in the shade, and maybe by the time it gets dark, we're going to need a light here, but we'll cover that when we get there, I guess. Yeah. So Zach Bravo will start off his second inning of work. He faced 4 batters in that first inning as Gibson got the base hit for the Sluggers. The first batter that he'll be facing will be the shortstop, Adam Tice.
And Tice had a pretty good game yesterday, going 3 for 4. Had 2 doubles and a single and walk. I mean, he's a pretty consistent kind of guy. We've seen him around in the league a couple of years.
He's very productive when he's up there at the plate, and a lot of speed too.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch by Bravo. That one hitting the outside corner for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike now to Tice. Dito on deck with Cadena in the hole. That one hit to the third baseman. Nice job there.
Oh, dropped the ball.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That was Riley making a nice defensive play there as he moved to his left.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be an E3
and
right there.
It's going to be an error on the first baseman, Corper.
Yeah. I think it might have been off just a little, but it's first baseman should have that. Just kind of went in his glove and it just fell out.
That's going to bring up the first baseman, number 17, Jackson Dito. Swing and a miss there by Dito.
And Dito was 0 for 3 yesterday with 2 walks. I mean, it's sometimes you don't always have to get a hit as long as you get a walk. You get the on base average is more important to me than batting average.
Here's Bravo's pitch. That one missing high for ball 1, so the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Dito comes in batting .281. As he's appeared in 10 ball games, has been up to bat 32 times, has 9 hits, and scored 5 runs. And here's Bravo's pitch. Ball hit hard into center field. Center fielder, great catch there by the center fielder for, that's Patton.
Yeah, Patton.
Andrew Patton. This is Patton's second game, for the Newton Rebels.
That ball was hit pretty good, pretty hard by Dito. So the one thing is with the Rebels, they have to minimize errors because, it's been hurting our pitchers too because our pitchers are throwing a lot more pitches. So
it's going to bring up the catcher, number 8, Ross Cadena. There, I thought the runner was taken off. First pitch missing for ball 1. Cadena is batting .233 as he's appeared in 13 ball games. Been up to bat 43 times, has 10 hits. There goes Thies to second base. Knew that was going to happen. And in there safely.
And the one thing that they need to do, the infielders, is stay on the tag. Don't just sweep tag it because a lot of times they'll go right by. Because it's slick there. So when they slide, they'll go right by the bag. So that's one thing that Brotman did right there is, held the tag.
Uchi goes out to talk to Bravo. So now there's a runner on at second base as Ice records a stolen base. He reached on an error. as the ball came out of the first baseman Corper's glove. Here's the pitch by Bravo. Breaking ball. Call strike. Great pitch there by Bravo. And that will take the count now to 1-2 strikes.
And by the way, Cadena, another Wichita State guy. So he's a catcher at Wichita State. He's a junior.
And here's the 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, swing and a miss there by Cadena as he goes down for out number 2. And that is the first strikeout recorded by Zach Bravo.
Yeah, you see Bravo using that off speed now. I mean, we noticed that with the 14 strikeouts. You don't know what he's going to throw.
Going to bring up the second baseman, number 21, Easton James. That ball gets away from Uchi. And the East rounds third base, but has to make a stop there.
Yeah, Bravo just told Uchi it was his fault there, my bad, whatever that everybody says nowadays. But, I mean, it's just, the thing is that do not have this guy score from third, especially with 2 outs.
James comes in batting .259 as he's appeared in 8 ball games. And here's Bravo's pitch. That one hits James in the elbow.
Oh, that's right.
But he does have a...
Yeah, that sounded. I was hoping he had a pad on.
Yeah, he had a pad on, so
it made a bad sound. But James from Eastern Oklahoma State.
So James goes over to first base as the hit batsman. The East's vice correction is at third base. Brings up the center fielder, number 31, Will Reitz.
Yeah, Reitz was 2 for 4 yesterday. Had 2 base hits and got hit with the pitch.
Throw over to first base. Safely is James. Reitz comes in batting .289 as he's appeared in 11 ball games, has been up to bat 38 times, has 11 hits, and has scored 7 runs. He does have 10 RBIs. There's a ball hit to the right, lifted to the right-hand side. It's going to be out of play.
And it's kind of tough here, Frank, see where the wind direction is. I mean, it's not, the field's kind of crooked a little, like this, but we don't have a flag either. I don't see a flag. But we could see where it's coming in or what. So
the count is 1 strike now to Reitz, who is the 9th batter. There's a check swing, but wasn't able to check it enough, and that's strike 2 now.
Hitters do not like that pitch right there, Frank. I mean, you see the depth on that and the drop, the quick drop, the late drop, I guess you could say.
And when I said 9th batter, I meant 9th batter in the lineup, not this inning. There's call, strike 3, as Zach Bravo records his second strikeout this inning and the second strikeout of the ball game. So for the Rose Hill Sluggers, they scored no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, we have no score, and we will be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, joined by General Manager Mark Cavallo this evening as we go for the second game in this 4-game series against the Rose Hill Sluggers.
Hey, real quick, Frank, I just want to say a shout-out to a good buddy of mine. We used to play ball together, and he's here, Big Ray, 6'7", first baseman, and he... Me playing third base, he saved a lot of errors from when I used to throw over there.
So Watts is now starting his 3rd inning of work, brings up the catcher, number 15, Hibiki Uchi. Uchi is from Japan, and we'd like to say hi to his parents. That ball lifted to the right-hand side. Right fielder backing up, still backing up, not going to be able to get to it as Uchi now rounds, goes to second base. and that ball is going to be in for a double now. That was misplayed there by the right fielder.
And Uchi did, he needed to run a little harder. He was kind of spectating on it. I mean, because any ball that's going to go up like that, folks, I mean, with this wind and everything, it's kind of, I don't know. It's like I said, Frank, we can't tell what direction the wind is really coming from, but you could see that was going to be a problem right there.
Hunter Gibson was the right fielder that misplayed that, so the ball falls in for a double. Fouled off there by Lachlan Ross. Lachlan Ross grounded out to the third baseman his first time at the plate. And we'll say hi to Uchi's parents here next time he comes up. He swung at that so quick we didn't even have time.
Uchi liked that pitch and went after it.
It is about 11 o'clock in Japan.
You're figuring all that out now.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I'm on it. It may be 10 o'clock, but.
Okay, one thing about Ross right here, he was 2 for 5 yesterday. He's pretty consistent, but I like to see him go to the right side with something right here. Move the runner, move him over.
By the way, when I said 11 o'clock, I meant 11 o'clock Monday morning.
Morning, yeah.
Or, wait a minute, this is Saturday, right?
Right.
Right. Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
There you go. Okay, that one called strike. And we're having 2 games here, Saturday and Sunday night.
And I'm sure they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're
I always think tonight was Sunday. That one high for ball. And we'll see what the count is here. 2-2 now to Lachlan Ross.
I'm saying if Watts pitches away, I'd like to see Ross take it that way. Ooh.
And that hits Ross, so Ross will be on at first base. That's the second hit batsman here in the ball game. 1 for the Rebels and 1 for the Sluggers. That will bring up the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley.
It's going to be interesting to see what Coach Clark does right here. Riley, he's the kind of guy that can execute. That's why he has him in the 2-hole right now.
Riley comes in batting .294. He's only appeared in 6 ball games, just joined us late. Riley squares to bunt. There's a throw down to second base, not going to be in time. A great job there by the shortstop, Heiss, as the catcher Cadena had thrown that over his head and was able to jump up and make that stop.
I showed some athleticism because that ball was up there, man. He must have a good 30-inch vertical jump right there because I thought it might have been going over his head.
Squares around once again, and he pulls back. So count goes 2 balls and no strikes now to Nolan Riley.
You see a lot of pitchers do that because they're used to swinging up. They want to get the pop up and sometimes it throws them off when you square around and bunt.
So far, Riley has 5 hits at 17 at the plate. That one is bunted towards the first base. First baseman only has 1 play, so it's going to be a sacrifice by Riley as Uchi goes to third base and Ross moves over to second base. And that will be a 3-4 putout sacrifice for Riley.
Great execution. That's what we talked about. That's why Coach Clark has him in that 2-hole because he knows he puts the bat on the ball. And I mean, that was a high pitch, too. And he got on top of it and put that bunt down right to first.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. That one missing outside for ball 1 by Derek Watts. Andrews got a base hit his first time up in the first inning and was left stranded at third base.
Yeah, we could use another one right now like that.
Here's Andrews. Ball hit into right field. That's going to be deep. That may be off the wall. It is off the wall. So 2 runs will score as Uchi comes in from third base. Lachlan Ross is now in safely at home. And Lincoln Andrews is on for his second hit of the game, a base hit and 2 RBIs. That takes the score to 2-0 in favor of the Newton Rebels. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 10, Carl Corper.
And it's good to see Andrews. I mean, he was struggling yesterday. I know he went 1 for 5. He did have a double in the 8th inning, but right there, he's been hitting the ball. He's hitting the ball. He's consistent.
There's a check swing there by Corper, but it's called strike 1 as he was not able to hold up. So no balls, 1 strike now to Corper. who's playing first base this evening. He played left field yesterday. This is only his second game with the Rebels. That one high, fastball, missing for ball one.
And Corver has to realize he has a big zone, so don't help out that pitcher.
So 1-1 now the count. Andrews on at first base with one out. That one missing outside for ball two. 2-1 now the count. Well, the Newton Rebels have done something here tonight that they haven't done for a long time, and that's take the lead.
Take the lead.
They've always been coming from behind, and so that's good to see. That one breaking ball just hitting the outside corner.
And another thing that you and I have been talking about, especially the Mulvane series, that when they score, that's shut down inning. So we'll see what happens there. Just shut them down.
Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Corper. So we have one down. Ball call strike 3, and Corper knew it.
Yeah,
He was looking for a different pitch, and that was in there for a strike.
Because that pitch was up. I mean, it was up right there. I think he was guessing something else.
As that is the second out of the inning, and that is the first strikeout by Derek Watts. That will bring up the right fielder, number 23, Joey Martinez. Martinez struck out his first time as he made the third out in the top half of the first inning. That one missing outside for ball one.
Yeah, Martinez, I mean, yesterday, like I said, 2 for 4.
That one high for ball two. 2-0 now the count to Martinez.
And again, now it's the Rebel hitters coming up, second time around, like we always talk about, start making some more adjustments on the pitcher.
Sorry about that. I was just checking YouTube, make sure our sound is good, which it is. We've been having problems with that, but I think we got it figured out.
Right.
And we thank you all for joining us here tonight. We hope you're enjoying the telecast. We'll be with you tomorrow evening also. That one missing outside. Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike now to Joey Martinez, who is playing right field this evening for the Newton Rebels. Andrews is on at first base with 2 down now. 2-0 is the score in favor of Newton. That one missing high for ball 4. So Martinez reaches on a base on balls. Andrews will move over to second base, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 1, Andrew Brutman.
Now I like to see Brotman again get a good pitch. Just get a good pitch to hit. I want him to be aggressive in the zone, and he got an RBI right there if he gets that base hit.
Brotman comes in batting .284. And here's Watts' pitch. Hard hit ball to the shortstop. Tice goes to his right, not able to get to it, but the left fielder coming in nicely, Hartman. And so Andrews will have to stop at third base. Martinez at second, and Brotman is in with his first hit of the game, I believe. Or was that an error?
I don't know. That ball, he hit pretty hard, kind of skipped right by
I thought it skipped by him. I didn't think it hit his glove, but it might have, just barely.
Really deflected.
But, yeah, so we're going to give Brotman a hit. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 14, Sam Cassane. So now bases are full here in the top half of the third inning, as the Rebels have already scored 2 runs. And the score 2-0. Ball 1 is the count to Cassane. Derek Watts in his third inning of work here. That one in there for call strike 1 right down the middle. So that will even up the count now at 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Cassane right there, pressure's on the pitcher. I mean, that's what hitters need to realize, that it's on the pitcher right there. He made him throw that strike.
1-1 now the count. That one missing high. So the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Andrews on at third. Martinez at second. Brotman at first. As we do have 2 down here in the top half of the third inning. And here's Watts' pitch. That one hit hard into right field. Or actually may fall in. It does fall in for a base hit. Here comes Andrews to score. And Martinez also scores from second base. So that now takes the score to 4-0 in favor of the Newton Rebels. As Cassane, I thought was hit hard, but then all of a sudden it just died out there.
Yeah, just died 100. I mean, Gibson, I thought he was going to get it, and then just held up. That ball just died like a dead duck there. But, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just boom, right down. But, hey, guess what? RBIs.
So
scored.
Exactly right. Cassane records his first hit of the game and 2 RBIs as Andrews scored and Martinez scored. 4-0 the score.
And that was the one thing we're talking about. What did we talk about, Frank? 2 out hitting. Yep. Right? 2 out hitting.
Very important.
Right there.
Well,
and you still have a runner here at third base, so we're still in it, man. So
Not only that, but what I like to see is with the guys on base, you got scoring opportunities, and they're taking advantage of it here tonight.
Yeah.
That's something that we have not been doing, so that's good. And the 9th batter comes up to the plate here in the 3rd inning, as that will be the center fielder, number 16, Andrew Patton. Patton grounded a hit and a small little doubler to the pitcher the first time up.
Again, he's got a good pitch. He's got a good pitch right
like
here.
He hit at the end of the bat and just kind of dribbled out there. Breaking ball, missing inside for ball 2.
But the thing is about it, especially runners in scoring position, it's opportunity. Bases loaded, it's opportunity. It's not. You shouldn't think of it as pressure.
The 2 balls, no strikes now to Patton. And Derek Watts trying to get out of the inning here. That one in the ground, but nice stop there by the catcher, Cadena. So nobody advances.
Brotman was ready. He was his instincts. He's very aggressive, which I like, and he was ready to go.
And he's very athletic, too.
Yep.
From Ark City, is that correct?
Ark City Bulldog, that's right. Fellow Bulldog.
That one missing high for ball 4. So now Patton will be on the base on balls. The bases will be loaded as Cassane now moves to second base. Brotman still standing at third, and that will bring up the catcher, number 15, Hibiki Uchi.
Again, Uchi right now, just be selective.
As he started this with a double. And we're going to go ahead and say hi to his parents, Madoka and Hideki, and got one younger sister, Asagi. We say hi to you. We hope you're listening in.
We're very proud of your
And
son.
not only that, but we hope we pronounce those names correctly.
Okay, so right here you got to look at the situation. If you're Uchi right up, just walk the guy in front of you. He's down 2-0. Make sure you take a strike.
So you got 2 balls, no strikes now to Hibiki Uchi with bases loaded and 2 down. As we are in the top half of the 3rd inning, 4-0 the score in favor of your Newton Rebels. That one, that's a hard throw down to third base, and Brotman's going to come in, and he's going to be out at home. So Brotman took off as the catcher Cadena threw over to the third base. Baxley threw it back into Cadena, and Brotman was standing up, and they called him out. So that is the 3rd out. So Uchi will be coming back up to the plate next time. So in the top half of the 3rd inning for the Newton Rebels, they score 4 runs on 4 hits and no errors and 2 left on base. So at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the Rebels 4 and the Sluggers 0, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers. Due up, it's the leadoff man, left fielder number 3, Mason Hartman. He'll be followed by Baxley and Gibson. 4-0 is the score in favor of your Newton Rebels as they scored 4 runs here in the top half of the 3rd inning.
And one thing I was going to say, Frank, what's exciting about that, have we seen Bravo have a lead like this?
Yeah.
I mean, so far. So it's going to be interesting because he's always battling. He's like, he was down 3-0 the last game. I think he was down in one game, and now he doesn't have anything. He hasn't had a win yet, has he?
He's 1-0.
1-0.
And that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. On the 14 strikouts that he had, he didn't get a decision.
Yeah, that's
which was unfortunate for him.
And he's still got one of the players of the week, so it just shows how electric he is.
And here's Bravo's pitch. That one missing high for ball 1. Mason Hartman, the batter, as Mr. Hartman grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. That one missing high for ball 2. So Bravo has a 4-run lead now here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Well,
and that one missing for ball 3. 3-0 now the count to Mason Hartman. And that's one thing you definitely don't want to do, and that's put a base runner on when you got a 4-run lead.
He's probably pretty excited right now that he has a lead right now because he's overthrown a little.
Yeah, it looks like it. That one in there for call strike. So the count goes 3 balls, 1 strike now to Hartman, who's playing left field this evening for the Rose Hill Sluggers. That one missed inside, so Hartman will be on with a base on balls. And that is the first base on balls given up by Bravo. That will bring up the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley.
Baxley's one of the league's leading hitters right now. I don't have his latest stats. I think you have him right there.
Yeah, well, he's batting .492 coming into this ball game.
That's pretty good in 13 games.
That one, first pitch missing high for ball 1.
Again, Baxley, a catcher, playing third base today. And, on that throw at home, I mean, that was a perfect – he had made a perfect throw on that to get Brotman.
Swing and a miss there by Baxley. That will even up the count now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom half of the 3rd inning, 4-0 in favor of the Newton Rebels as Hartman is on at first base as he reached on a base on balls. Well, Zach Baxley's got the .492, the highest batting average in the league. That one, nice job there by Uchi as that was into the ground, but he was able to protect it.
And Uchi must be in pretty good shape, though, too. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it, I mean, he's been, this third straight game that he's caught?
Yep.
Yeah, so.
And he was replaced by A.J. Parcero in the first game that you're talking about.
Right.
But that one hit in the outside corner. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Baxley. Baxley's actually leading the league in the RBIs as he has 25 RBIs. And guess who's leading in home runs? That ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop was moving to his left, and now he's going to a great job there by Corper.
Yeah.
Shortstop Brotman was moving to his left to cover second base because Hartman was taking off, and the ball was hit to his right, so he had to backpedal, and he was able to make the stop, but he did throw over to first base, and it's a good thing that Corper is 6'4" because he jumped up, and that stopped it from going into the dugout. So now Hartman is on at third base, and Baxley is on with a base hit.
Yeah, I don't think that was a hit and run. I think it was a straight steal.
But
but he put the ball in play.
Fouled off there by Hunter Gibson. Gibson got a base hit his first time up in the first inning and was left stranded at first base. So now the Rose Hill Sluggers have runners on at first and third with no outs. As Zach Bravo is working his third inning of work. That one missing for ball 1.
But you barely got that one. That one clear across. He missed his spot. Uchi's quick reflexes. Or that'd be back to the screen.
And here's Bravo's pitch. Hard hit ball. That's in the gap between first and second. So a runner will score as Hartman scores from third base. Going to second is Baxley. And Gibson's in with his second hit of the game and an RBI. 4-1 now the score in favor of the Rebels as Sluggers have come right back to score a run. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, number 33, Garrett Kosas. And Baxley gets another RBI to take it to 26 now for the league. By the way, Zach Bravo is leading the league with 39 strikeouts, and he's got one here tonight, I believe.
Right. Two.
No, he's got two of them. So that puts him at 41.
And right now, again, we talk about the second time around for Rose Hill to come around and face him.
That one missing outside. So the count goes 2 balls, no strikes now to Garrett Kosas, as we have runners on at first and second with no out here in the bottom half of the third inning. 4-1 now the score, favor of the Newton Rebels. But the Sluggers have scored 1 run here in the bottom half of the third. That ball lifted into left center field. That's going to be in, going clear to the fence area. As 2 runs will score. Baxley comes in from second. Gibson coming all the way from first. And Kosas will be in with a double, standing at second base, and 2 RBIs. So that quickly, the score now is 4-3, still in favor of the Newton Rebels.
Dang, there goes my shutdown inning I was hoping for, but let off with a walk, and that's a lot of the runs scored against the Rebels have been. Coach Clark said 60-70% of them have been off walks.
Well, I don't mind when the other team earns them,
right,
like they have this inning. But when we give them away like we did the other night in that second inning, that just makes it tough, not only on the defense, but it makes it tough on the pitcher.
Right, but you look at Bravo right there that, he's down 2-0, and he had 2 of the batters right there. He was down, of course, the walk.
So we do have a runner on at second base. There's a check swing there by Tice.
And usually he's the type of guy, he comes right after you. He's usually ahead, that first pitch, boom, right in there, because teams are attacking that first pitch a lot.
Count is 2-0 now to Adam Tice. A swing and a miss there by Tice, and that will take the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Still no out here in the bottom half of the third inning, as the Sluggers have scored 3 runs and have a runner on at second base with no outs. Here's Bravo's pitch in there for call strike 2. That will even up the count now at 2-2.
Now it's pretty nice because they were setting up inside. Bravo's not afraid to go in there. That's his home plate. That's what he told me. He says, hey, that's my plate. They get on there.
Here's Bravo's pitch. Breaking ball missing inside for ball 3. So that will take the count to 4 now at 3-2. I thought that might be the pitch that he was going to try to get ice with. And here's Bravo's pitch. Ball popped up. It's going to be right over our heads here. Heads up.
So you're about ready to make a play there, Frank.
Well, my catcher instincts.
That's right. Except you didn't have your glove with you. You need to bring your glove. That's right.
Not only that, the catcher instincts, but then I thought about my age, and I thought, I'll let somebody else get it. All right, so the count's still full. Ball popped up into the infield once again. This time, third baseman Nolan Riley will get under it, makes the catch, as Bravo was also hustling over to try to make the catch. So Tice goes down. It's fly out to the third base for out number 1. That will bring up the first baseman, number 17, Jackson Dietel. And I tell you what, we're sitting right behind the fence area, and we normally sit up in the press box, but we're sitting right here behind the fence, and these guys look big.
Yeah,
they're pretty good-sized kids.
I know when they walked in the gate yesterday, I was going, wow.
Hard hit ball. That ball hit to the shortstop. Brutman makes the catch, and then a throw over to second baseman. Ross was covering, so a double play there turned over by the Newton Rebels, and that will be the third out. So fly out to 6 and a 6-4 put out for the double play, but not before the Rose Hill Sluggers. They scored 3 runs on 3 hits, and I don't think we had any errors and nobody left on base. Yeah. So at the end of 3 innings of play, it is the Newton Rebels 4 and the Rose Hill Sluggers 3, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. The Newton Rebels are up 4-3 as the Rebels scored 4 runs in the top half of the third inning, and the Rose Hill Sluggers came back and scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the third inning. So the score 4-3. If you're just now joining us, we welcome you to the telecast. We hope you enjoy it. We're going to the top half of the fourth, and leading off will be the catcher, number 15, Hibiki Uchi. Uchi was up there batting when, who made the third out? That was Brotman.
Yeah.
Got thrown out. It was 2-5-2.
Yeah, that's a tough break, being ahead 4-0, give up the 3 runs, and, you have your top pitcher.
That one missing for a ball.
And they hit Bravo pretty well that inning, and I think a lot is because he was behind, but even that line drive out.
So Uchi comes in batting .365 as he's appeared in 13 ball games, has been up to bat 33 times, has 12 hits, and has scored 6 runs. That one hit hard and foul.
And on 2 for 3 yesterday, and hit by pitch yesterday. So he's doing the little things, and he uses the field. That's one thing I like about him.
That one hit to the third baseman. Third baseman comes in. That's Baxley. Baxley goes over to Dito for out number 1. So a 5-3 put out for the first out here in the top half of the fourth inning. That will bring up the second baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. Ross got hit by the pitch the last time up and scored a run.
He's doing a good job at leadoff, getting on base.
As Andrews hit a single and scored both Ross and Uchi. First pitch was called strike 1. Now that takes the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Here in the top half of the fourth inning. Working to force that ball slapped to the right-hand side, but not going to be fair. It's going to be foul. Actually, we got a new pitcher. And
yeah,
you didn't notice that,
did you know?
Okay, number 4 now coming in to pitch.
Oh, that's Tanner Leslie.
Okay.
Butler County. He's going to Butler County. He was a high school senior.
Okay, Tanner Leslie, 6'2", 180-pounder. So, by the way, you owe me a dinner.
That's right, for that one.
That's your
right.
job to make sure when we have subs here. That one fouled off there by Ross.
I think I was blocked out by Chad. I couldn't see, the umpire there. So.
Okay. All right, let me get him down here. Number 4, Tanner. Okay. I know there's 2 strikes, but I don't know what the count is here. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. All is going to be out of play. Once again, we don't have no scoreboard here. We do have a scoreboard, but no scoreboard operator. So the lights are now coming on here at the stadium.
And there's some of you don't know, Frank. Friends actually has the old Lawrence Dumont scoreboard. It's over on the campus, and they got to figure out how to put it up here. And once they do, the big scoreboard.
Not the check swing there by Ross, and the catcher Cadena will go over to first for out number 2. So.
Yeah, not the big electronic one, but the other one that they have there, and they just Adams, Coach Nicey is trying to get enough money to put it up there to replace that one. That'll be nice.
Are you talking about the one that you have to work by hand?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
Okay. Next up is the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. Riley sacrificed in the third inning as he had Uchi and Ross on at first and second and moved them over. With a sacrifice bunt, first baseman came in and second baseman covered. It also flew out to right field in the first inning. Hard hit ball into left field. Left fielder backing up now. First he just stood there, but I think he was trying to find it. Left fielder Hartman does get under it, makes the catch for out number 3.
Yeah, that was tough right there with the wind, and plus he's looking at the sun that's still up there.
So top half of the fourth inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, it's the Rebels 4 and the Sluggers 3, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Due up for the Sluggers will be Cadena, James, and Reitz. The score is 4-3 in favor of the Newton Rebels, as all runs were scored in the third inning.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking about that shutdown inning. That's one of the things that they've battled with this summer. It's just when you score, get a zero. The next inning you stop them. That you don't, but they're right back in the game now with the one-run lead. So hopefully we can hold on and maybe add on.
And we do apologize to you. We don't have a point streak working here tonight. So due up now is Cadena. That first pitch, a ball one now to Ross Cadena, who's catching this evening for the Rosetail Sluggers. Sluggers won the first game in the 4-game series. Check swing there by Cadena. Called ball, so the count goes 2-0. As they won last night 9-6. This is the second game of the 4-game series. Hard hit ball to the third base side. Nice job there.
Oh, nice throw.
Oh, yeah, nice throw, too, there by the third baseman.
Yeah, I mean, Riley right there.
Riley?
Yeah, Riley. I mean, he stumbled right there and was on a knee and then jumped up and threw a strike.
Well, he stumbled because he was right on the bag, and as he moved to his right. But Nolan Riley, good job with a 5-3 put out. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 21, Easton James. That one missing low for ball one. 1-0 now the count to the second baseman this evening for the Rose Hill Sluggers. James got hit by a pitch his first time up. That one just missing inside, so 2-0 now the count.
Yeah, James didn't play yesterday. Like I said, he's from Eastern Oklahoma State.
As you can hear the wind, there's a nice ball hit to the right-hand side, and the first baseman, Carl Corper, scoops it up and goes unassisted, so that will make the second out here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We'll bring up the center fielder, number 31, Will Reitz. Reitz struck out his first time at the plate in the second inning. There's ball right down the middle, so call strike one to Reitz as Zach Bravo in his fourth inning of work. That one fouled off by Reitz, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes.
And I've gone against the Sluggers teams for years as a coach and GM. This is the biggest team I've seen them ever have. I tell you.
They have good size. There's a breaking ball. Call strike 3 as Reitz looks at that, and home plate umpire Chad Rose calls strike 3 for out number 3. So the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 4 innings of play, it is the Newton Rebels 4 and the Rose Hill Sluggers 3, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, joined along by General Manager Mark Cavallo as we go to the top half of the fifth inning to score the Rebels 4 and the Sluggers 3. Leading off for the Rebels will be the designated hitter, number 21, Lincoln Andrews. And tonight, Andrews is 2 for 2 here, Carv.
Yeah, he's found a stroke again.
He's got 2 base hits. It's a hard hit ball to the right-hand side. It's going to be foul. He's got 2 base hits with 2 RBIs as he's got those 2 RBIs in the third inning.
And I was impressed with him last night going the opposite way and that double.
Ball hit to the left fielder. Left fielder now backing up, able to get to it, makes the catch for out number 1. That was Hartman backing up.
He's definitely going with the pitch right now, which is good. I mean, I'm glad he's doing that because they do pitch him away a lot.
That will bring up the first baseman, number 10, Carl Corper. Corper struck out his last time at the plate. That one in there for call strike 1. Also had a double in the first inning and was left stranded at second base. So he's 1 for 2 here tonight. That one missing for ball 1. The count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike now to first baseman Corper.
But like you said, I mean, we're up here close. We can see how big these guys are. He has a big old zone. I mean, his zone is home plate umpire's got a
swing and a miss there by Corper. And the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Tanner Leslie is now pitching for the Rose Hill Sluggers. He came in last inning. There's swing and a miss there by Corper. Goes down swinging for out number 2. That is the first strikeout recorded by Leslie.
Let me ask you, Frank, you umpired. I mean, with a big zone like that, does that make your job easier?
You would think. Brings up the right fielder, number 23, Joey Martinez. Well, I know when I was catching, I liked it because you got more room to try to get your pitcher to hit.
Right.
You can move it to different zones. Your glove, that is. First pitch is ball 1. That one in there for call strike. So the count will even up now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Joey Martinez reached on a base on balls his last time up. And he also scored a run as Cassane got a base hit and scored Andrews and Martinez. A ball hit to the right-hand side. Second baseman James goes over to first baseman Dado for the 3rd out. So a 4-3 put out in the books. And the top half of the 5th inning for the Newton Rebels. They scored no runs and no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 4.5, it is the Rebels 4 and the Sluggers 3, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The score, the Newton Rebels 4 and the Rose Hill Sluggers 3. Leading off or due up for the Sluggers will be the leadoff hitter, left fielder number 3, Mason Hartman. He'll be followed by Baxley and then Gibson in the hole. So far this evening, the leadoff hitter has only gotten on 1 time, and that was on that error to the that was hit to third base, and then Corper ball fell out of his glove. Remember?
Yeah. Well, in the walk too, that Bravo wasn't at the top. On this, I so-called shutdown.
Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
I was hoping
there was a walk in the 3rd inning.
Right.
That's right.
That's one thing we were talking about that they need to keep improving.
Alrighty, so that's coming up will be the left fielder number 3, Mason Hartman. Yeah, I forgot about that walk.
It's a work in progress, Frank. That's what we're doing here.
So here's Bravo ready to start his 5th. So swing and a miss there by Hartman, and the count goes to no balls and 1 strike.
See, I like it. See how Bravo's right on the mound, ready to go again. I mean, that's what I like. He works fast.
He's got his own pace, that's for sure. That breaking ball missing low for ball 1. That will take the count now to 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm not sure what we're going to do on this camera here if it gets too dark. I think it looks all right.
Yeah, hopefully it lights up.
There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. That's going to be foul. That was right down the line, but foul by about 6 feet or better.
It'd be interesting to see if Bravo goes to the off speed right here, because I mean that's been very effective. Him and Uchi been calling it. I mean it's like they're on the same page with it.
So the count goes to 1-2 strikes now to Mason Hartman, who's leading off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And here's Bravo's pitch. That high fastball, missing high. 2-2 now the count. Beautiful evening here in Wichita, Kansas. We have a lot of spectators here, and I noticed one thing. There's a call, strike 3, as Hartman goes down for the first out here in the bottom half of the 1st inning. And that is, I believe, the 5th, second, third, fourth strikeout by Bravo.
And the thing is, Frank, I mean, it's just that late break. That's what's throwing off the slugger hitters.
It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. Well, what I was going to say about the fans, I noticed they're social distancing really well.
Yeah,
they're all sitting kind of apart and with their own little groups. The ball is fouled off to the right-hand side.
You know, Frank, every time I see a foul ball, I want to say somebody on it, because as a coach, we were always saying that, you know.
Yeah. Here's Bravo's pitch. That ball hit the right side to the right side. That's going to fall in for a base hit for Baxley, and Baxley records his 2nd hit of the ball game. Baxley's just a tough out. I tell you what, he's a good ball player
for the field. You know, that was outside pitch.
He's a good-looking kid, and as far as with the bat and defensive-wise, and like you say, he's normally a catcher.
Yeah.
And so. But he's on with his 2nd hit of the ball game. Brings up the right fielder, number 42, Hunter Gibson. Baxley taking a pretty good lead. That one is fouled off right back to our left. So the count goes 0-1 strike. One down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, as the Newton Rebels have a 4-3 lead. With all runs being scored in the 3rd inning.
I saw his proud papa, Tonto, as we know, Tonto. He's here.
High fastball by Bravo.
Tonto Baxley, he does a lot of stuff for the Sluggers, and then he's also doing some out the New Genesis. He has high school leagues. The guy's busy, man. I don't even know how he got here to watch the game. Ball
down in the ground is low for ball 2. 2-1 strike now to Hunter Gibson. That last pitch, Bravo kind of lost it, and he went back, got some rosin bag, and looked at his hand. So must have got some moisture on it. Ball hit into left center field. That may be in for a gapper. The left center fielder, Patton, made a great effort. Not able to get to it. Here comes the throw into home. Not going to be in time. In safely is Baxley. And Gibson's in with a double and an RBI. So that will tie the score up now at 4 apiece. That was a hard hit ball into left center field. And the center fielder, Patton, tried to make a diving catch but was not able to get to it.
Yeah, I mean, Gibson, I've been very impressed with him, especially yesterday also, he was 2 for 4 yesterday with that home run. He also had a stolen base.
In the 9th inning, correct? That home run?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think they was back-to-back home runs that game. Yesterday, that one fouled off to the left-hand side, so the count goes 0-1 strike. Now up, designated hitter number 33, Garrett Kosas. Kosas hit a double his last time out. And he got into a double play as Dito hit a line shot to the shortstop. Brotman threw Kosas out at second base with Ross covering. Well, the wind's really picked up here. That one missing high for ball 2, I believe. Might be wrong about that. See, we don't have a scoreboard here, and we're trying to play it all by memory. And
right, it's
that one missing high.
And that's one thing right now, Bravo. Is he getting tired right now? I mean, he's got his, he's up in the 5th inning, and it's he's throwing a lot of pitches, and he knows how he's getting the ball up on his fastball.
Count goes 3-1 strike now to Kosas, as there is a runner on at second base. That one called strike.
There you go.
Right across the plate. So that will take the count to full now at 3-2. One down here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The score now tied up at 4 apiece. Here's Bravo's pitch missing low for ball 4. So Kosas will be on at first base as he reaches on a base on balls. Brings up the, well, here comes Jed Rock Raider.
Yep.
Pitching coach for the Newton Rebels. Going to come out and talk to Zach Bravo, as we do have runners now on at first and second with one down here in the bottom half of the fifth inning.
And right now he's asking how he feels. He's asking Uchi how he's looking and all that. But the thing is, I know Bravo. He's the type of guy, hey, I'm fine. Let me finish this. Just need to slow down and get it back, and he'll be fine. I mean, I think he has that experience, Frank.
So he's going to stay in the ball game.
And plus, they don't have anybody getting loose in the bullpen, I don't believe. So I don't see anybody.
Adam Tice coming up, shortstop for the Rose Hill Sluggers. He reached on an error in the second inning and then flew out to the third baseman. That one in there for call strike one, and that time Bravo had a little pop on that.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to come out of the ball game quite with the score tied up. He's working awful hard. Like I say, he is in his fifth inning of work here this evening. Ball popped up to the right-hand side. That's going to be out of play. So the count now goes to no balls, 2 strikes on Adam Tice.
Well, Zach Bravo has a lot of pride. He has a lot of pride in what he does. He was the first one here. I was here, and he was the first one that came in.
That was at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, that was at 5 o'clock. He says, I always come early when it's my day. So
no balls, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. That ball lifted into the shortstop area. Brotman gets under it, makes the catch. It is an infield fly rule. So that's out number 2. And he'll bring up the first baseman, number 17, Jackson Dito. As runners on at first is Cotis, as he reached on a base on balls. Gibson standing on at second base as he reached with a double. 1 run has been scored here in the bottom half of the fifth inning to tie the score up at 4 apiece. So Zach Bravo now calls timeout and wants Hibiki Uchi to go out and talk to him. And while he's doing that, we're going to get a shout out to Zach Bravo's parents, as Tiffany and Ruben Bravo. Also has siblings, but I can't read his writing. I thought he was in college. It's Aiden and Isabella, but I can't read the other one. And my bad, but looks like the runners advance. Gibson moves to third base. Kosas moves over to second base. I knew when I handed those out, I knew I was going to have problems reading the writing of some of the kids.
Yes.
The ball lifted it to the right-hand side. Right fielder is getting under it. That's Martinez making the catch for out number 3. So fly out to right field for the third out, but not before the Rose Hill Sluggers score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So at the end of 5 innings of play, it is the Rebels 4 and the Sluggers 4, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Coming back in to pitch is Tanner Leslie. I do have some numbers again for Derek Watts. I just did them by hand here. Unfortunately, we don't have point streaks, so he went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 base on balls, and had 2 strikeouts. That first batter is Brotman. Lifts the ball foul. The count is no balls and 1 strike now to Brotman. Tanner Leslie in his 3rd inning of work as he came in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and right now you have a 4-inning ball game right now. So it's, need Brotman get on base, get things going again.
That one fouled off there by Brotman. Catcher Cadena gets hit in the head there in the helmet area. So home plate umpire, like all good home plate umpires will do, will go out to talk to the pitcher just to give the catcher a chance to get his thoughts back. Yeah. That's Chad Rose, the home plate umpire. The last ball game we were laughing about this between the innings. He came over and said, I thought he was over there getting a drink of water. We were on the first base side. He was on the third base side. And I said, Ed Mora is the home plate umpire. And he sent me a text at about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And he says, I'm 8 inches taller than Ed Mora.
We haven't seen Ed in a while.
No, I haven't seen him. But I was thinking that's who it was, just from his features and everything. And but it was funny. I had a good conversation with him. Hard hit ball there by Brotman to the right-hand side. Goes foul. But anyway, we had a nice chat with him on Facebook Messenger. And but
he was laughing here over here.
He came over and said something to us here between innings also about how tall he was. Much taller than he was than Mora. Here's the pitch. That one in there for call strike. Great pitch there by Tanner Leslie as Brotman goes down looking for out number 1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. That will bring up the left fielder number 14, Sam Cassane. Cassane this evening is 1 for 2 as he got a base hit his last time up.
Yeah, it was a big
one
hit.
too, exactly right, as Andrews scored and Martinez scored. And he recorded 2 RBIs. That first pitch called strike 1. Tanner Leslie, right-handed thrower.
And Leslie just out of high school. I mean, he's going to Butler County. He looks pretty good right now, locating. And
he's in his 3rd inning of work. That one was low for ball 1. So that takes the count now to 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That breaking ball just missing outside. The count will go now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball popped up. Right along the fence, catcher Cadena gets under it, makes the catch for out number 2. Wasn't sure if that was going to be out of play or not.
I thought it was.
Fans kind of start scattering over there to the left-hand side, but the ball stayed in, and Cadena was able to get to it, makes the catch for out number 2. So that will bring up the center fielder, number 16, Andrew Patton.
There's been now that's 8 straight.
Call strike 1.
8 straight rebel outs, I believe, in it, Frank. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Tanner Leslie has faced 8 batters and got them all out. That one into the ground, so the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike now to Andrew Patton. Patton playing center field here for the Newton Rebels the last 2 games. That one missing for ball 2.
And the big key is how far can Zach Bravo go in this game now?
Yeah, well, he's gone 5, and we'll see if he comes out for the 6th inning or not. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Patton.
Yeah, he's definitely have some good. I mean, Leslie has some pretty good movement right here. So it's.
I believe the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There you go.
Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Andrew Patton.
He must have heard you, Frank.
Well, having to do this by memory.
Yeah.
While looking at all the stats and everything else and talking. Ball hit to the right-hand side and just slapped over there, but it's going to be foul. So the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Like I said, we don't know a lot about the new guys that just came in, but how much have they played this summer, or what their status is. I mean, I know Coach Clark came across them, and they're starting to get their timing down too.
Well, Patton, the 6'2", 205-pounder. That ball hit down the right field side. That's going to be just foul. So the count will stay the same at 1-2.
Lake Erie.
He's from Lake Erie University, where he's a junior.
He's a teammate at the Boom.
And
Enzo, yeah.
Enzo Bonventry, correct?
Yep.
And he comes from Columbia, Missouri.
It's a nice country up there, Columbia.
So we have 2 down here in the top half of the 6th inning. The score tied up at 4 apiece. Swing and a miss there by Patton. He goes down swinging for out number 3. And that is the 3rd strikeout recorded by Tanner Leslie as he came in the 4th inning. So top half of the 6th inning for the Rebels. They scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 5 1/2, score tied up at 4 apiece. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. You're watching the Rose Hill Sluggers and the Newton Rebels. This is game 2 of a 4-game series.
And Bravo's back out there. That's what you were talking about. How long you think he's going to go. Now, they got somebody in the bullpen right now, and we'll see who that is. I'll let you know here.
So Bravo comes out for the 6th inning of work. We'll be bringing up the catcher, number 8, Ross Cadena. Cadena grounded out to the 3rd baseman his last time at the plate, and he struck out in the 2nd inning. So he's 0 for 2 here tonight, looking for his first base hit here in the ball game. And here's Bravo's pitch. That went into the ground for ball 1. And Hibiki Uchi, the catcher, and Bravo really work well together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that one missing inside for ball 2. 2-0 now the count to Ross Cadena.
But like I said, I've seen Bravo the last 2 or 3 innings all of a sudden, get behind in the counts, which he usually doesn't do.
Ball hit hard to third baseman. Third baseman making an effort there was Riley, but not able to get to it. And now Cadena goes to second, and then the left fielder for the Newton Rebels, Cassane, throws it past the second baseman, so Cadena will end up at third base. So Cadena will get credit with a double and then an error on the throw.
Well, and right there,
by Cassane.
And Martinez need to be backing it up. You can't be a spectator right there in the outfield, especially though from left field to second base.
Yes. That was the number one thing we taught our kids, our Little League kids, is everybody moves on every single play, whether you're backing up or going for the ball. That ball hit to the right side as James gets a base hit and an RBI. The score is now 5-4 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers as Cadena comes in to score after hitting that double.
Yeah, now
and moving to third base on that error.
But you could go, that base hit he would have scored anyway. But the whole point is that college, I don't care what, like you said, you had your little guys doing it. Everybody needs to hustle. Everybody needs to do that. Sometimes don't be a spectator.
Yeah. Nobody was backing up. First baseman Corner did finally go over and get that ball. But you're right. Somebody needs to be backing that up because you never know. So throw over to first base. James in safely. And here's a swing and a miss here by Will Reitz. And the count goes to no balls, 1 strike.
Reitz, Hutchinson, JUCO.
We have no outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score now 5-4 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. Throw over to first base once again by Bravo. In safely is James.
And then the other part is you got to have a better throw from your left fielder. I mean, you got to, you can't airmail it like that.
Here's the pitch. Check swing. That one must have been low. So the count will go to 1-1, I believe.
I'm trying to see who's warming up there in the bullpen.
Yeah, I can't tell. Here's Bravo's pitch. A breaking ball, call strike. Nice pitch there by Bravo. Ball thrown over to first base once again. And if that home plate umpire is listening, I wonder if he can give us a count.
Yeah.
He heard me say.
There, that one. Yeah.
I believe it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That throw down to second base. Nice job there by Uchi, but he drops the ball. That is Lachlan Ross dropping the ball. The throw was right on the bag area, the first base side on the bag. I think we would have got him out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a really good throw.
So James is now standing at second base with no outs.
And that's a tough play for Ross because the runner coming in and sliding at the same time. So it's definitely bang-bang play right there.
Good throw there. Call strike 3 as Reitz goes down looking for the strikeout, and that is his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. That's the first out of the inning.
And like I said, that just buckled him right there. I mean, that's how, his off-speed pitches, when they're on, Frank, that's where he had a lot of those 14 strikeouts the other day.
Zach Bravo records his 5th strikeout of the ball game. We'll bring up the left fielder, number 3, Mason Hartman. Bravo's pitch, swing and a miss there by Hartman. And the count goes to no balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, you got the hot-hitting Baxley coming up next, so definitely want to get this guy out.
I must admit, I might have miscounted the strikeouts. I might be only 4. Here's Bravo's pitch. That one just missing in outside, so the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll count again here.
I don't know if that's Carson Frazier.
That is his 5th strikeout. Throw over to second base, not going to be in time as Brotman was covering second. In safely is James.
It looks like Carson Frazier out there, Frank.
Okay, number 19?
Yep.
Okay. So Carson Frazier is warming up out in the bullpen for the Newton Rebels as Bravo is in his 6th inning of work. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. Score now is 5-4 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Hartman here in the bottom half of the 6th. Runner on at second base with 1 down. Here's Bravo's pitch. A breaking ball. That one hit right back up towards second base. Second baseman Ross goes over to first for out number 2. So a 4-3 put out for the second out. Moving over to third base is James. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley.
This ought to be a pretty interesting matchup right here to see how this goes. And you know Bravo wants him.
That one missing high for ball 1. And you better watch number 21 over there. Easton James was eyeballing Hibiki Uchi when he threw that ball back to the pitcher. That one a breaking ball. Nice pitch there by Zach Bravo. So the count will now go to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Like I said, guys batters don't want to see that. They don't want to hit that. That's tough. They want to hit fastballs.
Another breaking ball, swing and a miss there by Baxley, and the count goes to 1-2 strikes.
To be honest with you, Frank, I just do the same thing again. I tell my pitchers, do it again. If a guy looks bad at it, just keep doing it.
So the count is in favor of Bravo now, as we do have 2 down with a man standing on at third base. A swing and a miss there by Baxley. He goes down on a swinging on a fastball, and that is out number 3. That is the 6th strikeout recorded by Zach Bravo here this evening.
And what I like is Uchi and him, instead of doing the off speed, which I suggested, they came up. He stood up a little and threw that high fastball, and he spotted up, strike 3. Great
So
job.
the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers, they scored 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. At the end of 6 innings of play, the score is the Rose Hill Sluggers 5 and the Newton Rebels 4, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game, joined along by General Manager Mark Cavalla. As we go to the top half of the 7th inning, 5-4 is the score in favor of the Sluggers. First batter is Hibiki Uchi, and the count is 1-1 strike now to Uchi. Tanner Leslie in his 4th inning of work here. Ball hit to the third baseman. Third baseman moves to his left. It's Baxley. Goes over to first to Dito for out number 1.
Baxley looks pretty good over there for a catcher playing third base, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's very athletic ball player, you can tell. Brings up the second baseman now, number 3, Lachlan Ross.
Lachlan hit pretty well, but
I didn't see where it went.
Straight center field.
Center field, okay.
Yeah, he barreled it up, but it went back. The center fielder going back a little, but it's an out.
Okay, I saw right fielder moving, and I didn't see the center field. Everybody's standing right in front of me there, so we have a fly out to center field for out number 2. Nice hit by Ross, but not deep enough to get out of the ballpark. We'll bring up the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. A call strike 1 now to Riley. His count is no balls, 1 strike, and Tanner Leslie trying to quick pitch just a little bit as he's ready to set and to go. That one into the ground as the count goes now to 1 ball, 1 strike.
And when I'll tell you, if I'm a hitter right now, I try to step out of the box, whatever I get call time, whatever.
Yeah, you need to get his timing not going. The ball hits the Baxley to third base. A strong throw to first baseman, and a good job there. A nice stretch there by the first baseman, Jackson Dito, for the third out. So a 5-3 put out for the third out here in the top half of the 7th inning. For the Newton Rebels, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 5 and the Newton Rebels 4, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score 5-4 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. And we're going to have a new pitcher now for the Newton Rebels. So it will be Carson Frazier. Carson Frazier is a right-handed thrower.
From Temecula, California. That's where Coach Clark's from.
Okay, Temecula, California. He's 6 foot, 155-pounder. From Cypress Community College, where he's a freshman. So Carson Frazier now pitching for the Newton Rebels.
Well, Frank, the big key right now is that it's 12 Rebels out in a row. 12 out in a row, and I don't even think a walk or anything, 12 in a row. So after we scored those runs early, those 4 runs, and we haven't done anything. And so I guess, you could say Tanner Leslie's definitely dominating us. And hopefully he'll make some kind of adjustment, do something, because we were run down.
So far for Frazier here this season, he's 1-0. He's got a 9.48 ERA. He's played in 9 games, has 1 save. He's pitched 12 1/3 innings, has 16 strikeouts, 14 base on balls, and has given up 20 hits. First batter he'll be facing is right fielder number 42, Hunter Gibson. Gibson tonight is 3 for 3 here tonight, as he has 2 singles and a double and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good right now. He's hitting the ball solid all over the field too.
So Zach Bravo is done after 6.
And I feel bad for Bravo, because I was hoping that he finally we gave him some support.
So he gave up. In 6 innings, he gave up 5 runs.
Yeah.
And let me count the hits here.
Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough runs that we gave him, and he battled. He definitely battled.
On 8 hits. And I do know he had a total of 6 strikeouts.
Another hit.
Base hit there by Gibson. So Gibson is on at first base as he records his 4th hit of the game. 3 singles and a double. And once again, the Rose Hill Sluggers get the leadoff man on base, and that will bring up the designated hitter number 33, Garrett Koses.
That's 4 out of 7 innings they've got their leadoff on.
Bravo did have 1 hit batsman, and I believe he gave up just 1 base on balls, looks like. So a good night for Bravo, but not going to be enough, as will not get the win. It's 5-4. Count is 2-0 now to Koses, with Gibson on at first base, as we are in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 5-4 the score in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. Fastball missing high by Carson Frazier, so the count now goes to 3-0.
Carson has some pretty good off-speed stuff, and I think right now this looks like everything's up. He's trying to overthrow right now. Just believe in that other stuff you got. You got some good stuff just like that.
That one in there for strike 1. Koses is another WSU product.
Yep.
His hometown is Omaha, Nebraska. That missing inside for ball 4. So Koses will be moving over to first base. On a walk, Gibson will move to second, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 5, Adam Tice.
And I was going to talk pitchers. When you're out there, I always told my pitchers, I said, when you want to sit there and try to throw it by a guy, don't do that. Throw less. Let your movement work, because when you do that, you kind of muscle up a little, and you get, you know what I'm saying, Frankie, you start gripping that ball like that, and that's where the ball's usually high and flat.
Tice is a 5'11", 185-pounder from Wichita, Kansas. Comes in with a .486 batting average. And that pitch missing outside. 2-0 now the count to Adam Tice here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, as Carson Frazier is having a hard time finding home plate.
Yeah, I know somebody just got up in the bullpen.
Swing and a miss there by Tice.
There you go. See that movement?
And the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, that one went clear across. Very nice pitch there by Carson Frazier. This count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a fouled off by Frazier. Correction, not Frazier, Tice. So the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. I was thinking about another nice moving pitch there by Frazier.
Yeah, no, it was nice. That's what I'm saying, Stanton. It was low.
There's a breaking ball. Line shot off the glove of Riley at third base. A run is coming towards the plate. That gets away from Uchi. So scoring from second base is Hunter Gibson. Boy, what a great effort there by the third baseman for Newton. Nolan Riley. As that just went off his glove. He jumped up, but just went off his glove. And
it's one of those. Frank, his glove is just about an inch longer. You know what I mean? But he's using an infielder's glove, but he went as high as he could, and it just popped out.
Yep. And I think Zach Gillick is up throwing now for the Newton Rebels. So another run scores, takes the score to 6-4.
But it's amazing how fast Hunter Gibson is too. I mean, scooting around as big as he is, how fast as he is. I mean.
Looks like Frazier's going to stay out there. We have runners on at second and third as Tice went to second base after they get that base hit. He went to second base as the throw came in the home. Kosas went to third. And Tice has another RBI. 6-4 now the score. Brings up the first baseman, number 17, Jackson Dito. That one missing low for ball 1. No out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
I believe you're right. I think it is Zach Gillig.
That one also missing for ball 2. 2-0 now the count. Dito's hometown is Spring, Texas. That one hit to the right-hand side. Right fielder backing up Martinez is not going to be able to get to it as it's off the wall. So 2 runs will score as Kosas scores from third base. Ty scores from second. And standing in at second base is Jackson Dito as he records a double and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be it for Carson Frazier, as the Rose Hill Sluggers have scored 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
And he didn't get an out, right? There's no outs?
Yep, no outs. As the score now goes 8-4 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. So Carson Frazier is done for the evening. Like you say, he recorded no outs after coming in here in the 7th. And I believe, is that Gillick, number 34? Yep.
And I don't know I hope Gilly got his full workout in just before. I mean, he was, warming up and everything else, because it was pretty quick. I mean, he had to go out there. He wasn't even out there for, probably the second batter when Kosas got on, and then all of a sudden he ran out there and got loose. So hopefully, he'll get loose here and stop this right now and get us out 1, 2, 3.
So Zach Gillick is now the pitcher for the Newton Rebels. He's a 6'2", a 205-pounder, red shirt freshman out at Friends University. He'll be playing here at this ball field, his home field.
This is his field, yep. He's been on this mound a few times.
So far this evening, he's one win and 2 losses. His ERA is 5.92 as he's appeared in 9 ball games, has 1 save. He has pitched 13 2/3 innings, has a total of 21 strikeouts, 7 base on balls, and has given up 10 hits.
And I think he started out real well at the first, and then I think, he was used a lot. And, I mean, like I said, these guys are still trying to recover from not doing anything for 3 months or whatever. So, but Zach Gillick, he'll compete.
And Zach Gillick's hometown is Valley Center, Kansas. Yep. His mom is Stephanie and dad Jason.
Great people, great people.
So coming up to bat now will be the catcher number 8, Ross Cadena. As there's still no out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 8-4 is the score now. And better get this Mr. Gillick in, number 34. And here's the pitch. That one in there for call strike one. At one time, Gillick had like 22 strikeouts. See if I can find that. Well, they got him recorded for 21, but I know it's 22 because.
And how's he done lately? That's what I was wondering about on the. That's where well, it's not bad. He's had the bad against the Monarchs, right? And then
that one in there for call strike two. Well, his last outing was July the 7th against the Patriots. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 base on balls as he faced 6 batters.
I think his toughest outing was that makeup down there up in Hutch.
Ball hits up the middle for a base hit, rounding third, but staying there at third is, looks like it's a number 11. I don't have a number 11, so they must have had somebody come in.
Let's see if I have anything on there. Matt Johnson.
Okay. All
Matt
right.
Johnson from Taylorburg College.
So Cadenia's in with a base hit. That will bring up number 21, second baseman Easton James.
Yep.
So now runners at first and third. That first pitch by Gillick to James is called strike one. So who'd you say was that third base, number 11?
Yeah, that's Matt Johnson.
Okay, thank you. I'll mark him down in the book. There goes Cadena to second base.
He dropped it. No.
He dropped it again. Okay, in safely is Cadena.
Yeah.
On stolen base.
No, it's good throws. It's just the bang bang and hits Ross's glove right there, and he just dropped it.
Oh, was that Ross that dropped it?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. So Hibiki Uchi with another possible throw out, not able to get him as that one came out of the glove of Ross. Now runners on at second and third with no outs. The Rose Hill Sluggers have scored 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Score now is 8-4 in favor of the Sluggers. Hard hit ball to the right-hand side. That's going to be caught by Martinez. Here comes the throw. Here comes Johnson. And he's going to be able to score from third base as both runners advance. Cadena moves over to third base. 9-4 is now the score in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. So Easton James records an RBI as he flies out to the right fielder Martinez. Brings up the center fielder number 31, Will Reitz. Reitz is 0 for 3 here tonight as he struck out 3 times. Gillick's first pitch is a swing and a miss there by Will Reitz. And the count goes to no balls, 1 strike.
We're going to need another one of our big innings that we've been doing the last few days, aren't we?
That ball gets away from the catcher, Uchi, and not going to be in time. Cadena comes in to score from third base as that ball was a wild pitch.
Yeah, the ball bounced right back to Uchi, and I thought he might have a play on it, but no.
Not able to, so another run scores. That's 5 runs have now scored here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The wheels kind of have fallen off for the Newton Rebels. A swing and a miss there by Reitz. And the count now goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. We have 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Rebels.
10-4 now. A swing and a miss there by Reitz as he goes down swinging for the 4th time here in the ball game. That's the 2nd out of this inning, and that will bring up the left fielder number 3, Mason Hartman.
There's like a little slider action there by Gillick. I mean, he's looking really good. Right there. That's where he needs to be. He's down right by the knees and moving.
Here's Gillick's pitch to him. That one in there for call strike 1. No balls, 1 strike now to Mason Hartman. This is his 5th time at the plate here tonight.
The top of the lineup.
He's walked once, struck out once, grounded out to the second baseman twice. That one in there for strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Mason Hartman, who's playing left field this evening for the Rose Hill Sluggers. Well, the crooked numbers are getting the Rebels again. That one missing low and outside for ball one.
And it looks like Gillick's kind of throwing more down, lowering it down. It used to be more of a high,
Yeah, it used to be up here. Now it's
more
kind of a more of an angling pitch.
If you look at it.
That one missing outside for ball two. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Mason Hartman.
It kind of, that ball is maybe not a slider, but like a slurve. You know what a slurve, it's a cross between a slider and a curve.
That one fouled off by Hartman.
Yeah, definitely need one of those big innings that we've been seeing lately, the 9 runs, the 7 runs, the 6 runs. Get us back in this game, and they can do it.
So 2 down here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's a breaking ball, swing and a miss there by Hartman. He goes down for the 3rd out as Zach Gillick records his 2nd strikeout of the ball game. At the bottom half of the 7th inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers, they score 5 runs. And I believe I have 4 hits. Yes, 4 hits. No errors and nobody left on base. At the end of 7 innings of play, it is the Sluggers 10 and the Newton Rebels 4, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the 8th inning for the Newton Rebels. Leading off for the Rebels is designated hitter number 21, Lincoln Andrews, as the Newton Rebels are down 10-4 now here in the 8th. And coming in for his 5th inning of work is Tanner Leslie. He came in the 4th inning and has gone 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, almost like a dance.
And that's like a
great job there by Leslie.
12 in a row, Frank.
Yep. That ball lifted into the infield. Infielder, I think the shortstop's going to take it. He does. That's Tice for out number 1. So F6 is the put out in the books for the first out. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 10, Carl Corper.
And it's really tough when, like I said, when you dissect this game as a coach. I'm talking about what they've been playing.
That went in there for call strike 1, right across the knees.
And you go, what's wrong? When you look at the Rebels and you go, what's wrong with it? They had the 4.
Swing and a miss there by Corper. Corper has started off with a double and then has struck out this last 2 times.
But they had a 4-0 lead and 10 unanswered. Now, what happens in a game there? And you start looking at it, and you got a kid that's just out of high school here, and he's going to go to Butler County and Tanner Leslie, and he's just shutting us down. And
that one missing high for ball 2. Count will even up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, that wind's really picking up, and the clouds are coming in.
Yeah, you can feel the wind
here. You can
here.
see them all up there in the east. That one fouled off. And we got no cover. So if it starts pouring down rain here, you can probably see it in the background there. We're going to have to shut things down because we got no cover and can't get all this equipment wet.
Yeah, Corper's battling right here.
And that's a broken bat there by Corper.
But I'm just saying there's some things when you dissect the game, because it's the pitching, it's the timely hitting. And, we had that early, and then but all of a sudden you don't have any runners on. So, it's not any of the hitting part of it, that the timely hitting.
Well, it's been one guy, and that's Tanner Leslie. He just basically shut the Newton Rebels down. He's really come in and done a great job for the Rose Hill Sluggers. That one missing inside for ball 4. So Corper will be on with a base on balls, and that will bring up the right fielder, number 23, Joey Martinez.
And that's the first runner since, what, the third inning?
That's the first runner on base, exactly right.
So
since the third inning, when the Newton Rebels scored 4 runs in the top half of that third inning. They had 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. So let's see if that Newton Rebels can answer back here. That one high for ball 1. And now the catcher for Rose Hill, Cadena, will now go out to talk to Tanner Leslie.
Yeah, it's definitely, even though with the lights, it's still pretty dark. Still in it. I mean, it's kind of.
So Leslie had retired 13 batters in a row before giving up that walk to Corper. And Joey Martinez looking for his first hit of the ball game here this evening. He struck out the first time as he made the third out in the first inning. Reached on a base on balls. That ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop bobbles it, but is able to go to second base for the first out. That's Tice over to James.
Yeah, Martinez hit it.
He
hit it well. I mean, just hit it right at him, just right at the shortstop.
So Martinez reaches on the fielder's choice, and we have 2 outs now on a 6-4 put out. That will bring up the shortstop, number 1, Andrew Brotman. Brotman hits that one to the right-hand side. That's going to be in for a base hit, and he's stretching it out for 2. A nice hustle there by Andrew Brotman as he ends up with a double. Well, that ball was hit to right center field.
And it just shows Brotman's going to keep playing hard. Doesn't matter what the score is. I mean, that, like we talked about, he's very energized kind of guy. You know, he goes 100%. And right there, a hustle double.
And that takes Joey Martinez over to third base on that play. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Enzo the Boom Bonventry, number 17, coming in to pinch hit for Sam Cassane. So Coach Clark putting Enzo the Boom Bonventry in.
Well, he's trying to get
runners on at second and third.
He's trying to get these couple runs right here to keep us a game.
Ball hit hard to the right-hand side. And that count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes now to Bonventry. Bonventry didn't have a very good night last night.
No, he
that one hit hard to the right-hand side.
Yeah, he was 0 for 4. Strike. I mean, he hit 6-3. You know, he didn't have to get it out of the infield like he usually does. He usually drives the ball and has had a bad day, and hopefully right here he can pick it up.
Swing and a miss there by Bonventry as he goes down for the third out. So the top half of the 8th inning for the Newton Rebels. They score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 7.5 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 10 and the Newton Rebels 4, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball as we go to the Bottom half of the 8th inning, the score 10-4 in favor of Rose Hill. And leading off for the Sluggers will be the third baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. Well, we got a new pitcher.
It's Kyle Landwehr.
Number 33.
Yep, Kyle, the freshman from Cape and Mount Carmel, who is now in Friends University. Here's his field. So, he's used to this, that mound. He should be used to it.
So Landwehr will be coming in to pitch now. And Kyle Landwehr, like you said, is a 170-pounder, 6'1". He is comes in with 7.26 ERA. Has played in 8 games. Has gone 8 2/3 innings. Has 12 strikeouts, 8 base on balls, and 7 hits.
And he's getting a lot of experience. I mean, he's probably one of the guys I've been around and everything that has a great attitude. He's upbeat. He's a competitor. He's a team player. He'll do whatever he can to help his team.
You better hang on to your papers. That was a hard hit ball by Baxley. That's fouled. I believe the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll see what home plate umpire Chad Rose gives us.
And unfortunately, the first guy
2-2 now. The count. Thank you.
Unfortunately, the first guy who comes in is Baxley.
Yep.
2-2.
2-2 now. And here's the pitch by Landwehr.
Whoa.
Great pitch there by Kyle Landwehr. Wow. Just standing there watching that ball was Zach Baxley. Got fooled a little bit.
Yeah.
And there is 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Great pitch there by Kyle Landwehr as he records his first out and the first strikeout of the ball game. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 42, Hunter Gibson.
And he just want a guy to compete, and that's what he's doing right there. That
first pitch just missing low for ball 1.
Looked like a 12-6 curve, didn't you say, right there?
I felt some drops. I don't know if you did or not, but I felt a couple drops here, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Like I say, we can't get this gear wet. That ball hit to the second baseman, Ross. Moves to first for out number 2. So a 4-3 put out for the second out.
Landwehr doing a good job getting 2 of the big hitters out right here.
And that will bring up the designated hitter, number 33, Garrett Koses. Koses reached on a base on balls and scored a run in the 7th inning. As I believe Deto's the one that got the double, and then Matt Johnson came in to pinch run. I hope that's correct. Like I say, we don't have a point streak up, so can't tell you exactly. We just happened to see him standing on third base. That breaking ball there by Landwehr is ball 1. Want to know now the count?
This is a great experience for him to get to play, because he didn't, I don't know how much he pitched this spring.
The ball lifted into left center field. I think that's going to center fielder never even saw the ball as he just stood there, and I think he just lost it in the lights. Yeah. That was Patton, and so that's going to fall in for a double for Garrett Koses. Like I say, he never even moved. He finally put his glove up, and you could tell that he just never saw it. So Koses will be in with his second hit of the game and second double recorded here in the ball game. We'll bring up the shortstop, number 5, Adam Tice.
I think just had that tough sky along with the lights.
And here's Landwehr's first pitch, called strike 1 by home plate umpire Chad Rose.
Yeah, you can see the sun's gone down. See some of the sunset. It's called the tough sky, and it's always tough for outfielders and see that high fly ball.
And here's a pitch by Landwehr. That one missing high for ball 1. Count goes to 1-1 now to Adam Tice. Due up next, I believe it is going to be number 11, Matt Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
If we get that far, because there is 2 down with the runner on at second base. That one gets away from Hibiki Uchi, and the Koses will move over to third base. It's And there is 2 down. The count 2 balls, 1 strike now.
He's just has to finish right here, Frank. Just finish. You know, it's a great inning if he can do that.
Well, we definitely got to get out of this inning here. A hard hit ball to the third baseman. Riley goes over to first for out number 3. So a 5-3 put out for the third out. And the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers. They scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. At the end of 8 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 10 and the Newton Rebels 4. And we'll be right back. Ready. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, joined along by Mark Cavallo as we go to the top half of the 9th inning. Coming in to pitch now for the Rose Hill will be number 10, Cade Fenton.
Cade is a sophomore from Hutch JUCO. I said they have quite a few pitchers on their roster, Frank.
Cade is 6'3", 205 pounds. And he's from Perry Grove, Arkansas, I believe. Is that?
Yeah, I was looking at the roster. They have 21 pitchers on their staff here, or guys who can pitch and also play different positions. A few of them.
First pitch by couldn't read my writing. Fenton is called strike 1. Up is Andrew Patton. Swing and a miss there by Patton. So the count goes no balls, 2 strikes. Well, the clouds are moving in, and I'm starting to feel just a couple of raindrops. And we just checked the radar, and it shows nothing, but my lion eyes are telling me that there's rain.
So maybe might not be here a real long time afterwards, right?
No.
Is that what you're saying, Frank?
Yeah, or we may shorten up our post game. Do want to remind you that tomorrow evening we'll be here at 7 o'clock as your Newton Rebels will be taking on Rose Hill again here from the same ballpark. So hopefully we'll have the same view and everything works and the weather stays away.
Not as humid, I hope. It was crazy.
Well, it was hot when we got here. I don't think we're going to get here at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I think we're going to make it a little bit later than that. The reason we came so early is because we didn't know where we were going to be setting up at. And the total situation, we were just told that there was power and to bring a cord, but had no clue exactly where it was at. That one hit hard to the right-hand side. It's going to be fouled by Patton.
But the highlight was that you found an air conditioner. So
yes, I did find an air conditioner.
Cool off.
Count is full now, 3-2 to Andrew Patton. But the 30 minutes or so that we spent out here putting everything together I probably lost a couple pounds here, which probably needed. That one is ball 4 to Patton. He goes to first base. That will bring up the catcher, number 15, Hibiki Uchi. So Uchi is now up with runner on at first base and no outs here in the top half of the 9th inning. 10-4 is the score in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. Swing and a miss there by Uchi.
Yeah,
Uchi down goes no balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, right there he was stepping out towards third base, and he needs to stay in there, keep that. It's called stepping in the bucket. What we used to talk about growing up.
Ball hit to the right-hand side. Second baseman will grab the ball, James, and there's a force out at second base. So Uchi reaches on a fielder's choice. So a 4-6 put out for out number 1.
I was going to say it's good hustle by Uchi, too, to keep from the double play because he was running hard right out of the box.
Well, Uchi will give you everything he's got. I've already seen that all summer long. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 3, Lachlan Ross. Ross is up with the runner on at first base and 1 down here in the top half of the 9th inning. As the Rebels need to score some runs as they're down 10-4.
Did you ever catch? I mean, that's 3 straight 9-inning games that Uchi has caught. Have you ever done that? I mean, well, you caught a lot of, and I'm sure.
Well, that first game Uchi didn't quite go the 9 innings because remember he was replaced.
Right. Yeah, right. That's right at the end, towards the end, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
So the catcher Cadena goes out to talk to his pitcher Fenton.
Always wondering in situations like this what you could be saying with a 6-run lead, and it's like
I know what I'd be saying. Throw strikes, young man. We need 2 outs. You got a 10-4 lead. Just throw strikes. Let your defense do the work.
Well, they just don't want anything to start going. Start all of a sudden we get that snowball, start scoring some runs again.
That one fouled off by Ross.
Especially with it being the top of the lineup.
He might be saying it's going to rain soon.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Okay, lost track of the count here. Like I say, we have no scoreboard here. That's operable. That one missing high for ball. And the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Fenton looks like he's overthrowing right now. Everything's up flat. He's got a good arm, though. I mean, but you got to throw strikes.
So the scoreboard's not working, and then Point Street not working, so that's not keeping track of it. There's a hard hit ball into left center field. That one is going to be against the wall, looks like, and the left fielder trying to make a play on it and could not come up with it. Hartman just looked like he was just trying to pick it up and couldn't do it.
I think that's what was going on out there. Just couldn't see it. Like I said, the lights and it's getting darker now, Frank. So the tough sky effect shouldn't be as much bad, but you got lights and wind. So I mean, I'm not making excuse for him, but it is tough if you've ever been out there in the outfield.
So Ross gets in a double and takes Uchi over to third base as there's 1 out and there's ducks on the pond here in the top half of the 9th inning. Batting is the third baseman, number 55, Nolan Riley. Riley looking for his first hit of the ball game. Do you have what Riley did yesterday?
Yeah, Riley was 1 for 5 yesterday.
Okay, thank you. Breaking ball missing low for ball 2. 2-0 with a count now to Nolan Riley. 10-4 is the score, but Newton does have runners on. All 3 now. 3-0 now the count. And on deck is Lincoln Andrews.
If he can get on. Yep.
That's ball 4 now for Riley, so he will be on at first base. Over at second still is Ross, and at third is Uchi. And here comes the coach for the Rose Hill Sluggers. Going to go talk to Fenton.
Well, he's going to tell him to be careful with this guy. I mean,
going to be telling him to be very careful because Riley, I believe he's got 4 or 5 home runs. We'll check it out here in a second.
2 at Wichita State, if I remember right, and but he's right up there with the RBI leaders.
Oh,
okay, there you go.
Andrews, there he goes. He's batting .314, and he's got 4 home runs so far here in the season.
And leads the team in RBIs. So
He's got 19 RBIs, correct. So he's got a good chance here to add to that here, as there is bases full now here in the top half of the 9th inning. And Lincoln Andrews up at the plate. Cade Fenton trying to get the outs here for the Rose Hill Sluggers. That first pitch is a breaking ball outside for ball 1. 1-0 now the count. I know you don't want to give him anything good. Fastball missing high. There's a quick throw that was going to be taking place at first base, but hanging on is Cadena.
Yeah, they might have had a little play on because the first baseman's playing back.
So the count is 2 balls and no strikes.
I'm sure Coach Jed's talking to him.
There's a breaking fastball correction outside. 3-0 now the count.
Now this is where, Lincoln, he shouldn't swing right now. I mean, try to get an RBI right here. And this is where you got the guys behind you.
And Corper is on next. That one missing outside for ball 4. So 2 straight walks given up by Fenton. And Uchi will be scoring from third base. Moving over to third base will be Ross. Second will be Riley. And Andrews is on with a base on balls. And that will bring up the big young kid at first baseman, number 10, Carl Corper. That one in there for strike 1.
Yeah,
right
make him
across
throw a
the knees.
strike. Make him throw a strike. Now, can you see anybody in the bullpen for Sluggers? I don't think. I'm
no.
blocked out. So
yeah, I can't either. Yeah, there is somebody getting up there. That one missing low for ball 1. So the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike now to Corper. Well, a good way to join the team and let your team members know that you want to be part of this team is to get a base hit here or a home run. That one missing for ball 2. That one, nice job there by Cadena.
Yeah, Cadena's done a great job. I mean,
2 balls, 1 strike now.
And especially on this turf situation right here, coming off that spin and everything, he's doing a great job blocking it.
2 balls, 1 strike with the bases full. And the score now, 10-5. That one popped up foul along the third base side.
Yeah, he was just a little behind that.
Well, we've seen the Newton Rebels make comeback after comeback.
They don't do it the easy way, do they?
No, they sure don't. That one missing outside. And I believe the count is full now at 3-2. There's only 1 out here, so the base runners need to be careful here. Don't want to get doubled up to end the ball game. And here's the pitch. That ball hit hard. That's going to be a base hit by Corner. And 1 run was scored. Here comes Riley coming across also as Ross crossed first, and then Riley scored from second base. Stopping at second base is Andrews, and Carl Corper is in with a base hit and 2 RBIs. So the Newton Rebels have scored 3 runs here in the top half of the 9th inning. Takes the score to 10-7 now. And that will bring up the right fielder, number 23, Joey Martinez. So Martinez is on. First pitch to Martinez is called strike 1. Martinez has got some pop in his bat also.
Bring up the tying run in the 9th inning.
Batting .358, and he has a total of 2 home runs. That one missing low for ball 1, so the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike. And on deck is Andrew Brotman, if we get that far.
Yeah.
Once again, runners on at first and second with 1 down.
Have some good hitters up, so.
That one in there for strike 2. Well, I wish he would have drove that one to the right-hand side, because that would have been perfect. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Martinez. As here's Fenton pitch. Breaking ball missing low for ball 2. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, that was a good hold up by Martinez because that was coming in there and that just broke down.
It dropped straight down. 2-2 now the count. And here's the pitch. That swing and a miss there by Joey Martinez. He goes down swinging for out number 2. That will bring up the shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman.
Brotman's been in this situation before, Frank. Just the other day at Tuesday at Wichita State.
Exactly right. He got in with guys on first and second and hit a double that ended up winning the ball game for the Rebels. Swing and a miss there by Brotman. Good pitch there by Cade Fenton as he tried to hit the outside corner. And Brotman went for it, but missed. That one just missing outside, so the count will go now to 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not by far there.
No, that was pretty close.
Thing is, it doesn't have to be a home run, just a base hit. Just
swing and a miss there by Brotman, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Like I said, I like to see Brotman right here.
When this game's over with, I'm telling you right now, we're putting this stuff up quickly because it looks like it's getting awful dark. That one missing outside, so that will even up the count at 2-2. Once again, fans, we will be back tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock as the Newton Rebels will face Rose Hill Sluggers. We'll try to get on the air at 6:50. That one fouled off by Brotman.
And see, Brotman needs to be in that battle mode right now. Just keep battling. If you have to foul him off, whatever you have to do.
He does have 2 strikes on him, and I see that Gaston is on deck. Got a bat in his hands.
Coach Clark's trying to give a lot of guys opportunities.
Oh, the breaking ball missing for ball 3, so that's a full count now to Andrew Brotman. With 2 down, runners on at first and second. The runners will be taken off on the pitch. So if he gets a base hit here, they'll be scoring. Swing and a miss there by Brotman as he goes down for out number 3. Well, that was the ball game with the final score: the Rose Hill Sluggers 10 and the Newton Rebels 7. Well, they scored 4 runs to start it all off, and then the Rose Hill Sluggers came back and scored 3 runs in that bottom half of the 3rd inning to make it 4-3. Sluggers scored another run in the 5th inning to make it 4-4. And then they scored a run in the 6th inning to make it 5-4. And then they had a big inning in the 7th inning where they scored 5 runs to make it 10-4. But the Newton Rebels did not give up. They scored 3 runs in the top half of the 9th inning, end up losing 10-7.
Well, I was going to say, it's those middle innings that killed them. You had a 4-0 lead. You had your possibly what you and I both consider probably our best pitcher. We're up there, one of our top 2, whatever. So it's looking good, but guess what? We just forgot how to score. We didn't make the adjustments, and but they did battle. I mean, I would say, it wasn't like they just they gave up, Frank. I thought that they battled. It's just that you can't depend on big innings all the time.
Yeah, they played hard, and that's all you can ask of them. Good ball game, 10-7 is the final score. Once again, we want to thank you very much for coming out. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. Don't forget, we'll be on the air tomorrow evening hopefully at 6:50 if the weather stays nice. Our game time is scheduled for 7 o'clock right here from the same field. On behalf of General Manager Mark Cavalla, this is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Wish you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Tonight, the Rebels lose 10-7. Good night.